Hey guys, how are ya? Long time no see. I've been at the theater. The theater has sucked the life out of me. I haven't had time. And when I did have time, I usually just came home and zonked out on the sofa, played me a little Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, which I am totally addicted to, you guys. It's been Pocket Camp over World of Warcraft, so that totally tells you something. Anyway, this is sort of a catch-up, sort of just where you are. Just where I am. I'd love to know where you guys are. How are you doing, my friends? It was nice to hear from a few of you going, hey, where are you? And I'm like, I'm busy. I'm here. Sometimes I stitch, but I'm busy. But Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. That's all I got. Anyway, I recorded a little clip of all the random stash and stuff that I've received. I guess it was on Saturday. Now it's Monday. No, it wasn't Saturday. It had to have been Friday. Anyway, and so I'm going to insert the stash acquisitions clip here, and that'll just go first, and you will see me in my lovely new sweater that my mama made for me for Christmas. So, stash acquisitions right here. Hey guys, I just want you to know that I settled in to do the stash acquisitions and stuff that has come into the house since I've been gone and working on the play and whatnot. Play's not quite yet over, but I opened up the Stitchy box for the month of December, or November and December. Was a little late getting to us, but that was because of distribution problems. The box was fabulous. I threw the little envelopes on the floor like I always do and yelled cat toy. And did that, and then I took a pause, and then I opened up all 25 days worth of things from Stitchy Box Countdown to Christmas Advent box, which since I have been so busy at the play, I haven't been able to open that, so I had some time to open that, so I did that for you all. And maybe, well, I don't want to move the camera, but the debris from all of that and throwing the envelopes over my shoulder for the cat to play with, and she did play with them. She was sitting in them and having a grand old time. I forgot to push the record button, you guys. Yeah, I was talking to myself for a good long time, showing off the goodies. I'm not gonna do it again. Nope. Not gonna do it again. Since I've already put away all the stuff from the Stitchy box. I still have the stuff from Stitchy Box's Countdown Advent here on my desk. So, you know, 2 cute patterns, some lovely threads, more beads and whatnot than you can shake a stick at. So, yeah, just not gonna do it again. Sorry. That's what I get for being out of the loop for so long. Oh, yes, and fabrics. Some lovely fabrics. Anyway, so that's why the section of stash acquisitions is going to be really low on cross-stitch stuff, because I opened up all the cross-stitch stuff and didn't film it. Oh well. But I do have a couple things that I didn't film. One of the ones that I picked up, thank you Michelle Garrett, is Christmas cross stitch 20 to stitch from Michael Powell. So this had to come home and live with me. It's absolutely adorable. I don't know when I'll get to stitch any of these things, but there are several patterns in here that I would really like to stitch. I received the color of the month. This will have to go back to November from, oh, come on, this is Under the Sea Fabrics. So this is Aztec, which is Under the Sea Fabrics. It's a gorgeous, warm, rich, sort of an orangey brown, as you can see. Just really delicious. It'll look great with stuff stitched on it. As I did mention in the original video, I'm working on culling most of my of the month club things. I have canceled my subscription to Stitchy Box. I need to email Leslie and cancel my subscription to her fabric of the month. And mostly it's because I have 2 years, give or take, of Leslie's fabrics. I don't think I've stitched on a single one. So it's not a waste of money, but it is a waste of money to be acquiring these things and not using them at all. So really, it's just, for me, it's mostly wanting to be more conscious of what I buy and to actually use the things I buy. So there's nothing at all wrong with the product that Stitchy Box is putting out. Nothing at all wrong with the product that Leslie is putting out. It's fabulous product. Well, part of it is I am not using those things as much as I should. The wonderful Stitchy Box fibers and fabrics and the bling and the buttons and everything else. I just, I decided I didn't, well, I partially decided that it was a waste of money and I wanted to go a different direction with the money that I'm spending on my subscription. So I picked up one subscription. You'll see it when it shows up. I think in February it should show up, is the first one of those. And so, there's so many wonderful things out there in the world and I want to try them all also. Which is contradiction to what I just said, trying to be more conscious of what I buy and actually use what I buy, but whatever. So that's the deal that's going on there. So let's see. So speaking of which, let's look at my Just Another Button Company's January one. I think this is January one because it is themed Frosty Fun. And so this subscription will end in June or July, and so they're probably going to do Buttons 3.0, and I'm trying to talk myself out of signing up for it. But as usual, we've got the big beautiful pack of smoothie buttons. There's even a snowflake button in there if the glare is not too bad. We've got the little sprinkle packs in White Wedding and Denim. There you go, White Wedding and Denim in the little, oh my goodness, forgive me, tiny buttons. I should probably edit that out, but it was a surprise burp. So, hi, I'm human just like the rest of us. And then these wonderful handmade cookies, handmade buttons with the snowman and the cookies. There's a little quilt block, and I think a cardinal or something. There's a bird back there, a marshmallow. It's just, cute, fun stuff. Absolutely love that stuff. So that is Just Another Button Company. I'm probably, that was ditzy of me, whatever. So that's that. So that is the last of the cross stitch that I have purchased for myself. Let's take a sip using one of my favorite mugs, Coconut Dr. Pepper, and get into the damage that I have done when it comes to fabric. Because you know me and fabric, and I just can't let well enough alone be alone. So, off of Etsy, here's this sort of a vintagey pansy print. It's more in the reds. My photo, the picture they took, it was more of the purples, but I guess, yeah, it's okay. It's okay, it's pansies. I'll find a beautiful fabric that matches up with it, and I will make a project bag or something, and it'll be wonderful. Here is another pansy fabric. Are you guys surprised? You shouldn't be. More pansies. Another Etsy purchase from a different Etsy store. Also, probably destined to be, destined to be project bags when I get around, when I have more time to sew, when the play finally is over. I'm looking forward to it being over. And then the last Etsy fabric purchase is this gorgeous, oh, look at those colors with the gold. I love it. I'm kind of holding it upside down, but you guys get the idea. We'll just pretend like it's multi-directional and it doesn't matter which way it goes. So that has the potential to become more project bags. I really am looking forward to being able to sit down at my sewing machine again and going to town. My mom went to, she went with some of her good quilt friends on a shop hop, and at one of the shops she was given this Simply Colorful 2 teeny tiny charm pack, and so I kidnapped it from her, and I plan on making a project bag out of most of this and then a coordinating fabric for the rest of it, because this is not enough fabric to make a full-size project bag. Then I went with my best friend over to, where did we go? Oh, Corn Wagon, which is a quilt shop over here in Springville. She was looking for some wool felt for a project she's working on, and so while I was there, I couldn't resist. I got the purple houndstooth because purple houndstooth, my friends, and purple and dots, because we all know I love a purple dot. And then upstairs in their fun fabric section, look at this, you guys. Look at those dogs. Aren't they wonderful? They're cute. They're cuter than cute. Love the dogs. And then here's the coordinating. Let's get my fingers out of the way so you can actually kind of see it. Paw prints for that one. So that might be, that probably, project bags. Project bags. My mom was here the other day, and she was looking at some of the project bags that I'd made, and she does have a long arm machine, and so she was talking about, wow, we could just, you know, put the fabric and backing and stuff on the long arm, just do the all over quilting, and then slice it up into the proper sizes and sew them up and go together and yada yada yada. And I said, yes, Mom, you go for it. You can start your own project bag business. I will support you all 100% all the way, but I don't have time to quilt right now. So that's that. So while we were over at Corn Wagon, poking around, looking at all of the things, I saw this little pattern / mini kit for these little pop-up. It's a fat quarter pop-up is what it's called, for these little pop-up little Ort container things. And it came with the instructions and pattern and the spring that makes the pop-up. And so, you know me, and being absolutely fascinated by things like this, one is simply not enough. So you need like 104 of the things for it to be even close to being enough. Yeah, what did I just say about being mindful? It's probably this that got me thinking about being mindful. Anyway, so I went and I hunted down the pattern for the stacking pop-ups in all the sizes she sells. So there's extra large, large, medium, and small. So I have the pattern for those. And then I picked up the mini pop-up spring, and there's the pattern instructions in here. And I think this is the size that'll be just perfect for Ort containers. So I'm looking forward to having some time so I can test it out. And then I wanted to do a medium-sized one. So I found the medium spring, bought me a medium spring, just because, why not? Like I said, if one is perfectly good and the correct amount and the right amount of crazy, 25 bajillion is better, right? So that is the fun sewing stash. Is that all the sewing stash? Yeah, that's all the sewing stash that I've acquired. I'm going to have a sip of my wonderful Diet Coke. Not Diet Coke. Diet Dr. Pepper. I gotta keep the caffeine, keep me rolling. What I don't have is yarn. Yeah, I bought some yarn, you guys. My mom was telling me about how one of her favorite dyers has a gratitude sale between Christmas and New Year's, and it's like 20% off of all of her hand-dyed beautiful fibers. I bought some beautiful, beautiful stuff, but I don't have it here. My mom has it. I ordered it and had it sent to my mom's house. And so tonight, she and I looked at the yarn that I ordered. I ordered 3 different colors. It's from Miss Babs is the name of the dyer. And I ordered 3 skeins of her yummy 2-ply, which is a fingering weight yarn for those who do knit. And then I ordered 2 skeins of the Yet, is the name of the fabric line. And it is a light fingering or a heavy lace weight. So something like that. I don't know what it means. I have to have Mom help me decide things. So we looked all over Ravelry, up, down, left, and right. And since she's been happily knitting some stuff for me because I love knit things, she knit me the sweater I'm wearing. That's right. My mom knit me a sweater. I'm the favorite child. What was I saying? Anyway, we picked out some fun stuff for the yarn that I had chosen. So that's kind of cool. So I spent some money on yarn, and I might learn how to knit this year, you guys. I'm kind of thinking about it. Mom and I are planning a trip to Arizona to see the grandparents here the front end of February. We'll see how month-end close goes once the play is over and all that stuff. Looking forward to going to Arizona. Looking forward to seeing my aunts and uncles and all those wonderful people. Looking forward to doing the things, doing some stitching, going to the attic. Might meet up with some people, might not. Have to tell the people that, hey, I'm going to be in town. Do you want to meet up? We'll see. Got to get around to it. So anyway, that is all the stash acquisitions in one go because I forgot to push the record button. Sure enough. Let's look at the next segment of fun and games that I got for you guys. So over the Christmas holidays, I got a couple of cards from some of you, and thank you so very much for thinking of me. I really appreciate it. First off, Dina at Half Stitch, Cross Stitch, sent me this adorable card, just beautiful. It's been cheering up my refrigerator all season long. Thank you so much, Dina. And then I also got a card from Cindy's Cross Stitch. I can only assume that this is a picture of some of the ornaments that she has finished or has had gifted to her, all taken in a picture, and it's just goals, my friend, right here. This is what I look at this and think, I can do that. I want to do that. So this is beautiful. Thank you so very much, Cindy. I appreciate that. Then our wonderful Carrie in Stitches, she's over at the UK. She sent me this darling card with the pansies. I'm going to affix it to my, it's a French ribbon bulletin board that I have behind my camera, so I'm going to add that to that. Plus, she made, oops, backwards. Let's rotate this around. It doesn't want to cooperate. Anyway, a darling scissor fob biscornu with a pansy on the front and just some little tiny flowers here in the corners on the back. I hope that's showing up for you and it's not too washed out. It's really pretty. And aren't these beads fun in lovely pansy colors with these clay beads with the flowers? Small beads up to large beads to the wonderful biscornu at the end. Ah, absolutely adorable. Thank you so much. So much, Carrie. I love it. I really, really do. And then my friend Jeannie, who does, her channel is Just Jeannie. She and I were talking a little bit about her other hobby, which is, Jeannie, I'm going to fail you. This type of pin. Fountain pens. And so she was talking about some of her favorite fountain pens and some of the easy ones to get into the hobby. It's a huge hobby collecting fountain pens and the different inks and how the pens load and all sorts of wonderful, fabulous, interesting information. She did sort of a pin 101. You guys really need to go over and check her out. So here is this, she sent me 2 pins. So this one is the blue one, and she sent me one that has purple ink in it, and I took that one to work and I have been using it and loving it, and it's a lot of fun. She also sent Princess a little stocking full of toys, and this little bell thing with the sparkles, and this little ball with the sparkles and the bells, there we go, is Princess's favorite toy. I have to take it away from her at night because she likes playing with it. She's sitting down on the floor at attention, so we'll just kick that over my shoulder for the cat to go chase. And the last thing that Jeannie included in my package was a wonderful Pansy Mug. Who are these people from? Tervis, I think it is. Anyway, look, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So this is my other favorite Pansy Mug. I use it all the time. I use this one all the time. I use them both. If one isn't full of soda, well, one is usually full of soda and the other one is usually drying in the rack. So tomorrow it'll be this one's turn to be full of soda and this one will be drying in the rack. So anyway, lovely gifts from you all. Thank you. Thank you so very much. I feel loved and appreciated and a lazy bum because I didn't send anything out. I'm gonna blame the theater again. I know, I've just been blaming the theater, but if the theater's taking all the blame, we may as well let it, right? Right. See ya. So we're back into the normal of things. I'm enjoying the remnants of a coconut Diet Dr. Pepper in one of my favorite Pansy mugs, because now I've got like 3 Pansy mugs to choose from. They all go on a cycle. One's usually drying in the rack while the other one is being used. All right, so let's look at my progress report. And we'll start with the things that I didn't finish, or almost, well, didn't finish at all. So, I did finish. I'm going to have to unroll this, guys. I am so unprepared. Can you tell I haven't done a video in 3 months? Of course you can. All right, so I'm just going to unroll this a little bit. I took my Santa's Village back to work on, and when I got there, when I started working on it January 1st, I put my hoop up here and was going to finish up this block, but then I was just annoyed at the amount of fabric. See, I have a huge piece of fabric down here, and so I decided to do the Santa's Village house, Santa's Sleigh Works is what this one is, down over here in this corner, figure out where my bottom was so I could cut off the bottom bit of fabric, so that would make, you know, better sense. So I've got just my grid lines just sort of put in so I know where the edge of the block is. I'm working on the roof with my green thread right there. We'll move it out of the way so you can see a little bit better. I'm holding up way too low. There you go. Now you can kind of see what I've been working on. So just moving the border down, put the roof in, just, you know, started working on that for a little bit. That is Santa's Village by Country Cottage Needleworks. It's a series of 12? Yes, 12 different little houses and things for you to stitch, all Christmas themed, all Santa themed, all cute and lovely. I'm stitching it on a 32 count, I forget the name of it, Haven? By ColorScapes. I'm not sure who does the ColorScapes line. I swear it's somebody like a Zweigart or a Welshit or whomever. Sounded like I said a bad word when I didn't. Well, shit. Anyway, so that is where I am on that one. So I'm just, you know, happily working on that one on my lunch break at work. I'm going to turn around here, grab the bag that I keep this one in, put it back in the bag, so when I go to work tomorrow, Tuesday, it'll be ready to go. I won't have to, I might have to, anyway, put it together and get it all messed up. Let's see, the second little thing that I have been working on is this little Pansy Kit from RTO. It's darling, I love it. I just have worked on it a couple days, something like that. Not too much. I worked on it yesterday on Sunday while I was at home watching the TV, and it's really light. And so I'm working on the mug, and a lot of white on white stitching, which is driving me nuts, but I've been working on this blue fill just kind of here. This is the edge of the mug on one side, and I'm like 1 or 2 stitches away from the edge of the mug on this side. So it's going to turn out really, really cute, but it's just a really small project. I'm using the Aida that came with the kit. It's got the orange band. It's not horrifically stiff or anything. Well, it's a little stiff, but it's not horrifically stiff like the stuff you get out of a Dimensions kit is. So, working away on that little project. A few stitches here and there. Speaking of Dimensions kits, they're super stiff Aida. What are you doing, cat? She's into trouble. She's into all sorts of things. Okay, let's get organized. What was I saying about not having done this in like a heap of days? Anyway, so I was working on a little bit on this Dimensions kit. Wanted, you know, your dog poster. Because it's cute. And my sister has a dog, so I figured I'd get it framed and put a picture of the Tobemeister in there and give it to her. Let's tuck that in there so it doesn't get lost. It's actually, I was working on it here at my desk, so here's the pattern. Let's put that away. And here we go. This on the Aida that comes with the kit, and yes, my lighting is showing everything is that funny yellowy pinky color because my walls are pinky and I've got the iridescent lamps on, so anyway, the color is not true, but whatever. So I worked a lot on the cross hatches, the half stitches across the top there, getting those all filled in. Figure when I fill those in, I'm going to move over here to the W side, do the W, the corner, and then start going down on that side. So that is another cute thing that I have been working on. Put this away in here. Travis says hello. Anyway, so there's that. And then I really thought I would have this one finished. This one I've been working on at the theater. I have quite a bit of time during the second act of Aida to sit and stitch. And I just pull up a chair in the green room. So I've been working on Lizzie Kate's Be Silly, Be Honest, Be Kind. And when I left the theater on Saturday night, I had everything but like the T and the diamond there for honest done, and I needed the IND and the little star there for kind. So I brought home some of the floss from the each color, but as you can see when I was working on it yesterday, I kind of ran out of, I didn't bring home enough floss. So that's Weeks Dye Works Cotton, or Cocoa. So I just need to finish up the D and the last little star, and then I will be done with this guy. I have a whole nother skein of the Cocoa at the theater in my theater project bag. I thought I'd grabbed enough to do it. Obviously that's not the case, so I don't know, 20, 30 more stitches and it'll be done. So that's really quite exciting. Okay, where do I want to put this? Because this doesn't have a bag or anything to go in. Who knows? We'll just put it right there. Alright, I have a stack of finishes. That sounds like it is more than what it is. It's not a big stack, it's just a couple things. So I'm going to pause here, go get the other stack, because my sewing table behind me is an absolute disaster. And Miss Princess has decided that she's just going to sleep on whatever is on that table, so I don't like to put my stitch stuff there. Gotta go pull it out of the bin of shame so I can show you. Anyway, be right back in a jiff. Alright, things that got finished while I have been away. I worked on Do Small Things with Great Love. This was another theater project. I find that these little Lizzie Kates are just the right size to do at the theater. They don't take a ton of flosses, they don't take up a ton of room. They're really easy to do at the theater. So here it is. I did this one as well as Be Silly, Be Honest, Be Kind on 28 count Sprite from Picture This Plus is what it's done on. This is the same fabric that I am doing my chatelaine on, but this is actually a leftover piece because I cut down the big piece of fabric I bought for the chatelaine, and then I'm just using small pieces. So I finished Do Small Things with Great Love at the theater. My next one you may have seen posted. What are you doing, cat? Weird cat. Okay, anyway. The roses, whatever, hollyhocks. Yep. I posted this on Stitch Mania the other day when I finished it. Let's move this over right here. And here you go. I have finished the hollyhocks. They are cute and adorable, and I love them very, very much. Now that I have shown them to you, I'm going to go pin them to the wall in my bedroom where I have all my other flower and pansy things pinned to the wall because I just don't frame stuff. Whatever. Hate me. I don't care. I just do them. I do them because I love to do them. Sometimes they are for display and sometimes not. Oh, this is a piece of a lugana. 32 count, I think, from Color Cascade Fabrics. And I think that the colorway is Whole Lot of Love. Aussie Stitcher sent a piece of this to me and I cut it off. Put my hollyhocks on there and they look really, really nice. So, really pleased with that finished. Turned out so well. Okay, and the last, what did I tell you about Princess just sitting on anything? Anyway, the last thing, well, the first thing I finished was Lizzie Kate's Christmas Mystery Sampler, part 3, part whatever. I'm just gonna, you know what guys, I'm just gonna put it on here sideways so you can see it all in one go, and you'll have to use your imagination so it's going the correct way. Anyway, I pretty much did this in all the colors called for, in all the stitches called for. I did make a mistake down there on the R for Christmas. I miscounted. I left out a stitch, so it's a stitch too thin. I didn't figure that out until after I had stitched the T, and I'm like, I'm not ripping everything out, so I just went with it. Oh, and I did change the flower pot that this flower is in. I thought the pattern was way too skinny. I didn't like how skinny it was. So on the second and third rows, I increased it by 1 on each side. So instead of decreasing by 2 as the pattern calls for, I only decreased by 1. So I like that weight better. Okay, I'll show it to you right side up. Oh, you bunch of whiners. Anyway, here we go. That almost fits in frame. Not quite, but there you go. It turned out really quite good and really quite lovely, and I'm very quite pleased with it. And that is quite a lot of quites in one quite short sentence. So there you go. That is what I have stitched on. Lots of stuff, my friends. Lots of stuff. So I guess we did things sort of in reverse since we already did Stashquisitions. Oh, I recorded a clip earlier with our Floobies, so let's insert the Floobie clip here. Hey guys, here's the Flosstube newbies list, the Floobies list. I have the weird frog in the back of my throat and I really just want to, I'm trying hard not to, so there may be a pause in the middle of this. I've got a long list to read simply because it's been 3 months since I've shouted out any Floobies. Unlike the normal procedure where I give you a little information about each one, I'm just going to give you their channel name. The links to their channels will be in the description box below. Hopefully it's not going to be so excessively long that I run out of characters to type everybody in. You're just going to have to forgive me, guys, because it's a huge list. It's a long, long list. You know, 3 months of not videoing will do that to you. So, these are the people you need to go check out. MJ in PJs, Minty Stitcher, Melly Ellie Stitches, Elizabeth Douglas, Helen D, Crafting Between Stitches, Stitching with a Dachshund, she's a Texan, the Scared Fuzzy or Sacred Fuzzy, who knows what I actually wrote, because we all know my handwriting is close to abysmal. Leslie Hurley, who has described herself as Fat Cat Stitches with a PH because she is that cool. And then the big list, when I realized I was never going to be able to read a little description of each and every person, what they did and what I watched, because I got so far behind, you guys. The theater totally took it out of me, which I'm sure you'll hear me say time and time again. Hello, princess. Alright, we have Jen Stitches, Needlebug, Stitching in the Sun, Stitching in Korea, Emily Weber, Stitch All the Things, Rigel's Needlework, Stitching with Brit, Stitching Social, Lisa the Linguistic Stitcher, Emmy Irwin, Sherry's Crafty Corner, Rita Marie, Polly the Old Dominion Stitcher, Questing for Serenity, Ginger Stitches, The Silent Stitcher, Amityville, like Amityville Horror House, only Amy, and I just can't run it all together by myself. It takes a time or two. Let's see, Misty Purcell, Wool Stitcher, and Cross Stitch Chaos. So lots of wonderful new people doing Flosstube. Go check them out. Be sure to subscribe to the ones who just, you know, speak to your little stitchy heart and you really like. So go check them out. And so that's the end of this little clip, and we'll be back with the next cute section here in a bit. So that's pretty much everything that has been going on in my life. I have another wonderful looking scowl, shawlette, whatever you want to call it, that Mom has made for me. A lovely blue colorway. It's fun, fun, fun. I like it quite a lot. I wear all of her stuff that she makes for me quite often. If there's room, I will put my Ravelry page down there in the bottom so you can click on my page, and in my bundles I have a bundle called Penny Knits. That is everything that my mother has knit for me. So if you want to look something up, look up a pattern of a thing that I've worn, you can go there on Ravelry, look in my bundles, and see all the wonderful things that Mom has knit for me. Let's see. Life-wise, as far as, I've just, you know, the theater has been controlling my life. They did install one of those wonderful Coke Freestyle machines in the green room. It's absolutely delicious, absolutely wonderful, and we pretty much empty out that sucker once a week. I mean everything, all the choices, all the syrups, everything. It's empty in a week. My favorite new combo is Vanilla Raspberry Coke Zero. I don't have any Coke Zero at home. I don't have any vanilla syrup, so I will get me some vanilla syrup, and then I will start making my very own vanilla raspberry Coke Zeros here at home. My double has been sick a lot this run. He's just caught cold after stomach flu, after cold, after the poor guy. So I've worked a lot more shows than I had thought I would work. Luckily, we haven't been doing a ton of matinees, so that has been a blessing because I don't have to leave work early like I would if there was a matinee. For those of you who don't know, haven't watched my past videos, that's cool, I understand. I sometimes work as a dresser backstage at the Hale Center Theater. They are now located in Sandy, Utah. And we are coming to the end of our run of Aida, the one by, with the music written by, Tim Rice and, what's his bucket? I can't remember his name. And they announce it every single night. It's funny that I remember Tim Rice's name. He's the main lyricist. Elton John! Haha! There we go. Elton John and Tim Rice. Anyway. So that has been really, really fun. We are the first big show to have go in the round. We opened up to a lot of construction. There's still a lot of construction going on around us as we do the show. The theater claimed first blood on one of our other dressers. She had popped into one of the dressing rooms to ask her set of actors a question. And she just, you know, pushed the door open. The door hit the rubber stopper and then started to bounce back. So when she turned around to go get or fix whatever it was she was talking to the actresses about, she ran full speed into the edge of the door and cut a gash open in her forehead. It was about 2 inches long, 7 stitches, something like that. Head wounds bleed like nobody else's business. And so she has recovered really quite well. The scar from the incident has landed in a place that was already kind of furrowed. You know, when you furrow your brows and you get the vertical lines, it happened to go in a spot like that, so it doesn't look like there's a scar on her face. She's just one of the sweetest people and quite fun to work with, but the theater got first blood, and so we have named that door after her. The memorial first blood door. Anyway, we close up next Saturday. Next Saturday is our last show. I'm looking forward to getting my life back and being able to stitch a lot more and wow a little bit more. I haven't been on World of Warcraft for any significant amount of time. Since I started the thing, I might log in, do a daily or two, and log back out. I'm 3 months behind on progression and keeping my character raid ready. So hopefully the folks over there at ARD will take pity on me when I get back and I can get in a community run or two and get my character up to speed. Who knows? But I have been playing a whole heck of a lot of Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. It is the MMO grind where you fill requests, you do things, you know, the animals go up as you do things with them, and when they change level, then you get a little point so your character can go up a level. It really is an MMO grind without the MMO. What else has been going on? My throat's really dry, so we're going to pause here. I have just a couple of other silly little stories, so pause while I drink and rehydrate my poor, dry, scratchy throat. So one other thing that has been going on here, my sister was back in town after doing a bunch of medical rotations out in Pennsylvania, and it was decided that she needed a new car. It's true, because her other old car was a 2003 Ford Escape. It had seen many, many days and many, many miles and had slowly become unreliable. So we spent a good chunk of time when I didn't have to be at the theater. Mom and Dad and my sister and I, we went and test drove a whole herd of small SUVs. We tested Fords and Chevys and Hyundais and Subarus and Nissans and Toyotas and Mazda and the Honda. In the end, she chose a cute little Honda CR-V. They got the 2018 with the zippy engine in, what did she, lava red? Molten red, lava red, something like that. Anyway, it's kind of an orangish red color. And so we joke about it being hot lava, which is something from a TV show we used to watch like 100 years ago. There you go. I have seen some interesting driving from Provo up to Sandy on the nights that I do the play, and I will tell you now the story of some of the most inattentive driving I have ever seen. So, I was leaving work, headed westbound on Bulldog Boulevard. If you are, I'm just going to use the names of the streets so that it's easier for me to stay clear on where I'm going. Anyway, so I'm headed westbound towards the freeway on Bulldog Boulevard, and the light at University Avenue, which crosses, had turned yellow, so I came to a stop, and I stopped a little far back because I could see that there were pedestrians, you know, and I didn't want to encroach on those pedestrians, so I stopped. And behind me was a white SUV, and they all likewise stopped, but they decided they didn't want to be in front of me, so they quickly changed lanes and pulled up next to me. And they didn't initially stop far back, you know, so the pedestrians have plenty of room to cross. But as soon as the pedestrians have crossed in front and there's no room, the white SUV starts to creep forward. And I'm thinking, man, these guys are really anxious, you know, because they had pulled from behind me to next to me. And I'm like, wow, they're in a hurry. They really want to get to wherever they are that they're going. And they creep forward, and they creep forward, and they creep forward. And this light is a pretty long light for traffic going up and down University Avenue. University Avenue is a main thoroughfare in town, and they typically get the priority because there's a lot more traffic going north-south on University than are going east-west on Bulldog Boulevard. So the white SUV is creeping forward, and they are now fully in the crosswalk. And I'm like, wow, they're just really anxious. You know, they're in a hurry. They're really anxious to get going. And I think, okay, they're going to stop, right? They're just going to stop. The light's still red for us. Traffic is still crossing back and forth, and they're creeping forward, and they're creeping forward, and they're creeping forward. And they are now on the other side of the crosswalk. And University Avenue is one of those that has like a parking strip, 2 lanes of traffic, a turn lane, 2 more lanes of traffic, and another parking strip, right? So it's a big street. And the light changed for cross traffic to stop at about the time that this white SUV has completely left the crosswalk and is fully in the parking strip. So, I mean, they're pretty much out there in the lane of traffic. Now, on this particular street at this particular light, I'm headed westbound. The cars going eastbound go first, and their left turn lane turns first. And so they start to go, and the car creeps forward some more. And they are in the first lane of traffic, and the people turning left are having to be really cautious and not run into this white SUV that is in the middle of the road. At this point in time, I'm thinking somebody's going to get hurt, and so I honk my horn. Beep, beep. In the side mirror, I could see the driver. I don't know why I didn't look in the side mirror before, but I could see just, you know, the motion of somebody going whoop. So I think they were playing with their phone the entire time. And, you know, their brakes slammed on, and pretty soon here they are in reverse, and they're starting to creep back, you know, where they want to go. But by that time, light had turned red, or turned green for us going westbound, turned green, or white by that SUV. But oh my goodness, you guys, I could not believe it. Don't be playing with your cell phones when you're at the light. That per person could have got their white Mercedes SUV annihilated had they got out there a little bit sooner and a semi-truck gone by, because that's a major shipping lane from people going from I-15 up Provo Canyon. It's semi-trucks all day long, every day. So pay attention where you're going, you guys. But yeah, like I said, that is one of the most outrageous examples. Outrageous? Did I just make up a word? I probably did. Anyway, egregious. Really, really bad examples of people not paying any attention whatsoever to their surroundings because of your cell phone. So, put your cell phone down when you drive, okay? Okay. What else is going on? I'm going to be down in Arizona to see my grandparents the 5th through 9th, give or take, of February, and then I'm headed to Vegas to meet up with some other people the 9th, 10th, and 11th of March. So that'll be fun, some good stuff to look forward to. Mom has said that maybe I've expressed interest in learning how to knit, so maybe while I'm down at Grandma's house with Mom and Dad and hanging around the house with nothing to do except cross stitch, maybe I'll learn how to knit. I'm planning on going out to the attic while I'm down there, because you always have to go out to the attic when you're in Arizona. I think that's it. It's mostly it. It's time to go roll over the laundry and finish that up. And then slice these things together and do the what's-its and the hoojimakoozits and the stuff and nonsense. So, thanks everybody for hanging with me while I was gone working the theater. Oh, one last theater story. The next play coming up is The Hunchback of Notre Dame, is in the big theater in the Round. They just started cash on delivery for the little jewel box theater. That one has just barely started up and going. And they were asking me if I wanted to work Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is really sweet of them, but I'm like, no, I am tired and I am grouchy. I need to rest a little bit. I need some time between shows. But I have put in a request to work Pinocchio, which is their Dead of Summer show. Since I usually don't go anywhere during summer, another couple extra dollars would be worth it. We decided not to go on the trip, which is what I was really saving my money for, but I totally have new car envy now because of my sister's brand new spanking beautiful car. So I've just been saving all of my theater money for a down payment on a new car. My car is 10 years old, so she's going to need to be replaced here in the next 4 or 5 years, something like that. So I figure if I start saving now, I should have most of a cash payment, you know, ready to go when it's time to buy new again. I'm weird. I believe in buying new and just hanging on to that car for as long as you can, which is the way to do it. If you're planning on changing your cars regularly, then lease is the better way to go. You can look up all the accounting numbers, but you know, whatever. So, hey, thanks for sticking with me. Missed you guys. Thanks for checking up on me for those of you who did. Have fun, you guys. I hope you get plenty of time to work on your little stitchy projects. I hope you get plenty of time to work on your big stitchy projects. I hope that frog stays far, far away from you. Hugs and stitches, everybody. Bye. Alright guys, so here's my little pansy wall, shrine, whatever you want to call it. A couple of postcards, a little garden thing I did a long time ago, big old print, pansies from a kit, love is where you plant it, which is a shepherd's bush, a couple of little small pansy things up there, lavender pansies that I finished last year. There's where I pinned the hollyhocks to the wall. So there's kind of where I've been just pinning stuff wherever. And you look down here, I have an old, well not an old, it's an IKEA thingy to put media on. So there's a couple of pansy boxes down there. That big thing is a piece of wallpaper border from a room that I had in, golly, when was it? The end of 2000, first bit of 2001. And I just had this little bit left over when I moved out of that place, and I put it in a frame because I'm weird like that. So, what other wonderful things do we have? We have a couple of cards from Garden Blooms watercolor cards in there. There's one of the pansy oil paintings that I ordered, I bought off of Etsy. A little tiny pansy thing in a frame that from a kit that Brenda Greer sent me. The little sled pansy my best friend made me for Christmas. She modified a pattern, fitted on the little sled. Absolutely cute. There's Bindi Stitch's alabaster pansy box she found out in a estate sale and sent to me, on top of the oblong doily that Sherry sent to me that her grandmother crocheted. More pansy art from Etsy. Pansy art from, geez, 100 bajillion years ago when I was like in high school or something. My grandparents. my family. Part of my family's hidden. Can't see them. Anyway, so that's the Pansy shrine, I guess, for lack of a better word. And then I hung Pansy over there on the wall next to the window. So that's where she lives. Over there. The rest of the pansies over here. Okay, bye.